Yeah, good morning. My name's Donovan Walker, planning operations for Great Basin Team 5. Today is Sunday, September 8th, and this is your morning briefing for operations. So we're inside today. You can see we've got the tent over us, a little breezy outside. And just before I start going around the horn on the updates, it's going to be a different day today. Got clearing already as far as the inversion is lifted, and that's when we tend to see fire activity pick up. Since we've been here, that's been in the afternoons, usually after 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're seeing that same kind of conditions we see at 3 o'clock in the afternoon pretty much right now, which tells us our burn period is going to be extended today. So definitely you're going to see some smoke around this fire. Probably all the fires in the area are going to be picking up in the same manner. Those conditions are there. We got thunderstorms in the forecast today, chances of lightning today, and definitely some increased winds today. So we'll be on our game. We've got the resources that we need to be successful in this fire here, and we're going to implement the plan that's in place. So with that, we'll start talking around Deadwood Reservoir here, and this is heavily in a mop-up stage and monitoring. Mind you, a lot of this area in here that's had recent heat, it hasn't been tested by wind yet, but we have over 300 people in the Deadwood camp up there that are in the immediate area. A lot of crews up there, a lot of horsepower to be able to get work done. And if things, if they start popping up and showing their heads, we'll definitely have what we need out there. Really, if this fire continues any further into towards the northeast, it's in a burn scar, and as long as we don't have it coming back towards the west, we're in a good spot. And to accomplish that, we've been working on these road systems, masticating them, the trees, opening stuff up, making those roads more defendable for our firefighters to be in. That's taking place to the north, and certainly on the 555 road, moving well north. So we've got a lot of contingencies in. So if this fire does want to continue to burn this way, as long as it stays to the east of those roads, we're in really good shape, and we're not affecting the values at risk that have been identified. Moving along the east side of the fire, it hasn't been active. It's in the old burn scar from Pioneer Fire. We have smoldering in there. There's some heavies, the trees after they fall over after a fire. It's those kinds of fuels they're burning in. There's not a lot of active like flame fronts or anything like that. It's smoldering, creeping through, and just kind of very, very slowly burning their way through that. And in a lot of ways, it's cleaning up a lot of things in there that need to be cleaned up to help the forest to continue to regenerate over time. Moving around to the southern part of the Nelly fire here along the Highway 17 corridor. This has been very secure for the last several days. We have several crews in there still patrolling, mopping up. Again, a lot of this fire hasn't been tested by wind, so we want to make sure that those crews are still placed around when they were working in hotter conditions on the fire, which we haven't had in a lot of places. We still want them in those same areas to be able to address anything that does pop up, at least that we know where they are. There's a slight chance that we're going to get some rain, like that means something to firefighters. We call those wetting rains, usually over 1/10 of an inch. And the probability of getting that is not very high, even though we do expect to see rain today, and you'll probably see it. You'll see the dirt disturbed on your windows and things like that. We just don't think it's going to be to the amount that's really going to put the fire to bed. So what that will do is allow us to see what's going on today with where the heat is as it ventilates and gets wind on it. And then when we get some calmer conditions in a few days, we can get after those areas and really focus in on what needs to be done in those areas that showed that showed when we had wind on it. Moving around, the distance between the Nelly fire and the Bulldog fire at places are about a mile, and other places we've got gaps 3 miles plus in there. In between these fires, we've done modeling over the last several days, and all the teams have been doing fire modeling out here. But all the models are in agreement that over time these fires will burn together. They're active in there. This is where we expect to see a lot of smoke and fire activity today. It was pretty active yesterday evening after the inversion broke, and we just expect to see those conditions continue in there. Our primary control line is back where it's been worked for the last several weeks. and it's a combination of dozer line, road systems, hand line. We've constructed safety zones in there. We've made all the preparations that were needed in there to ensure firefighter safety if they need to go in there to conduct operations in here. If we need to start operations on this side here, it's probably going to be 3 to 4 days of getting this secured with black, with fire along it. And that's really not something that we have to do and that we want to do unless we have to do it. Depending on how much burns in here will depend on exactly what our actions are here. If it burns a little bit in here, we get some precip, we get some rain in there, and it parks it. It allows us a different opportunity to go and assess a new fire edge now, and how can we use that in relation to the terrain features that are out there to maybe fight fire all the way out there. Where it currently is right now, it's down in a deep hole. It's not safe to put firefighters in. So by the fire moving a little bit, it may allow us some different opportunities to assess what can we do in here, even though we still have our primary control line in there. So we'll continue to evaluate that as we go through time. As we go to the Bulldog fire, west side still looking really good. The north side, we've got a crew up on the north, and they've been putting some check line in, really trying to make sure that this north end doesn't move any further north. And we haven't seen any movement in there for about a week now, maybe about 6 days. To the north of the Bulldog fire, this is the Silver Springs, Silver Plunge, Boiling Springs. We've got the lookout tower out there that's been wrapped. Some of the identified values at risk that are out there, we've got some thinning done around them, clean and brush from around those sensitive areas. We've got sprinkler systems in place, and there's a whole lot of engines that are in this area that continue to basically get it ready if anything does come from the south to the north. That is a secure area. If fire gets in there, it would be low intensity and easily defended by all the prep work that's been done in there. And then we continue to work the Middle Fork Road Corridor to the north, and just kind of building a little box around that too, because we also know we have the goat fire to our north that's been active as well. That's not our fire, but it's something we think about every day as we have firefighters in the area there. So that's your briefing for today. Thank you for tuning in.